Now, this was your first visit to Brazil, and it's your first official visit to another Anglican province. What were your impressions?
Oh, my impressions were of a church that's thoroughly alive, that's very much engaged in mission, the mission that is particularly in solidarity with the poorest in that place. The church is very clear about who they are and why they're there, and they're doing something very, very effective about that. I was impressed with the strength of ecumenical relationships in the province of Brazil. Their strong partnership with the Roman Catholic Church and other Protestant denominations, and a great sense that together much more can be accomplished than when churches operate individually. I was also impressed with the attitude toward self-sufficiency. Resources are not abundant, at least financial resources are not abundant in most of the dioceses of Brazil. But there is a great sense of what in another context would be called si se puede. Yes, we can do this. We do have gifts. God has blessed this place. An example would be the life around the diocesan offices in Brasilia, which are on the cathedral grounds. There is talk of moving the provincial offices there as well. But they have an office building, 2/3 of which is rented for school use, foreign language school, for example, and computer learning. But with the income from that rent, the primate pays 2/3 of the salaries of the clergy of his diocese. There is hope to build another similar building and to really produce a self-sufficient church in that place. Great sense of entrepreneurial spirit. How are we going to serve the gospel in this place to which God has called us?
You met with the National Environmental Minister, Marina Silva. What did you discuss with her?
We talked about her work to preserve the Amazon, to work for constructive development when it's appropriate, to lessen the illegal logging that's going on and it's been going on, and I think what is closest to her heart, to work to preserve the indigenous communities in the Amazon. She herself comes from that cultural background, and the half a dozen bishops that went with us were really understanding the visit as an opportunity for pastoral support for her. And we prayed at the end. It was a remarkable experience.
Is the church aware of this environmental emphasis? Are they involved in preservation efforts?
Very much so. Each of the dioceses in its own way is working for constructive, appropriate development, development that considers the lives of the people who live on the land, in ways that respect the relationship between human beings and the rest of creation.
Now, what's happening with companion diocese relationships between our church and the church in Brazil?
There are several, but there is a great cry for more relationships. There's lots and lots of opportunity. There is a beginning relationship between the Diocese of Curitiba and the Diocese of California. There's a long and well-established relationship between the Diocese of Brasilia and the Diocese of Indianapolis, and also the Diocese of Bor in Sudan. But there is a great cry for more. Some of the dioceses there, the Diocese of Amazonia, for example, is brand new. It was a missionary district until recently. There is another new missionary district. Each of those dioceses could benefit from relationships with churches here. And we could learn a great deal from their experience as well.
Now, you were given a special gift by Bispo Braz Andrade. What was that?
Mauricio Andrade asked an artist who is also a priest in the church in Brazil to make 2 sets of chalices and patens from a piece of wood. And each is carved with symbols of the Church of Brazil and the Episcopal Church as a sign of long and fond friendship and partnership. And I have brought one set home, and he has kept one set in Brazil. The 2 sets were used at the 2 Eucharists we celebrated there, and it was a remarkably powerful experience to be part of that.
Of course, there was a tragic plane crash in Sao Paulo not long after you left. Have you had a chance to speak with Bishop Andrade?
We have communicated electronically, but we've not had a chance to speak on the telephone. It was a A great tragedy. 200 people were killed. There was a second plane crash in Brazil that did not result in loss of life within 24 hours of that one. Reminder to all of us of the preciousness of life. And it has to be said that the relationships and the empathy for another person's suffering is stronger when we know something of that person and their context.